Good afternoon, this is Ivan Amara. This is going to be another very interesting video. Hope you guys enjoyed my show I made earlier this morning. Talked about the Xanus movie, and I also gave more writing advice for aspiring fantasy authors, obviously. What are you eating, Ivan? I'm eating fish with rice. My stepmother made some good fish with rice. It's really good. Fried fish with rice, right? How much you weigh now, Ivan? I'm still 260 because I've been inconsistent with my eating, but 2 days ago I had the hot dogs at Snack Shack. Yesterday I ate a hamburger and I ate my Digi's food, and today this is what I'm eating right now, but I've been inconsistent with my eating. I'm gonna get a membership at the pool place in Elmer. I can swim for an hour every 7 days a week. That way I lose weight. But I have to be more serious with my eating. Yeah. I even do a lot of fantasy aspiring authors use AI. Yeah, now you have something called AI, which can help you with your writing. I recommend you guys don't use AI. Because if you use AI, you're kind of cheating and the story's not really yours. Because a lot of these aspiring fantasy authors are not that gifted, they struggle writing a good fantasy story. They cheat a little bit and they use AI, which I recommend you don't do, obviously. And I read some stuff on Fantasy Reddit before I made this video. A lot of these aspiring fantasy authors, they don't listen, man. I keep telling you guys, man, stop trying to wow the reader with your English literature, but you don't get it, man. Like, nobody cares how good your English literature is. They care about how good your story is. That's what all these fantasy aspiring authors don't get, man. They think they're wowing the reader by just writing beautiful English. No, write a beautiful story. Stop trying to wow them with your beautiful English literature. Write a beautiful story and just be simple, man. Like me right now. They don't get it. They don't get it, yeah. Why are you saying we shouldn't use overcomplicated English words? No. You can use some overcomplicated English words, but don't do it too much. Otherwise you can confuse the reader. A lot of readers, when they read your book, if you use overcomplicated words, they can be confused. They don't understand what's really going on. It's confusing. Yeah. Because a lot of these aspiring fantasy authors on Fantasy Writers Reddit, they have beautiful English literature, but they're not great storytellers. Yeah. They don't know how to tell a compelling story. They think they're telling a great story by their knowledge of the English literature, but they're not. Oh. That's why they get a lot of bad reviews. Yeah, this story's boring. Yeah. It's beautifully written, but the story's not great, obviously, right? The story's not great. Yeah. Why, man? It's easy for you to say that, man. Like, we don't have to have the gift like you. I know, but I'm giving you my advice. All you aspiring fantasy writers on Fantasy Reddit, listen to me. Listen up. All you guys, stop trying to wow the reader with your English literature. Nobody cares how good your English is. Just try to tell a good story and be simple, man. Stop trying to wow them with your overuse of the English words. You think you're telling a good story, but you're not. Just wow them with your story. Stop trying to wow them with your English literature. Yeah. This fish is really good. It's fried fish with rice, right? It's really good. Yeah. Yeah. So Ivan, you do read some stuff. Yeah, I do. Sometimes I go on Fantasy Writers Reddit and I read some of the chapters that the aspiring fantasy authors write, and I notice the same pattern. They always try to wow the reader with their poetic English words. They don't listen, man. They don't get it. You know, you think you're writing a good story by writing good English literature. No. Write a good story. Stop trying to wow the reader with your English literature, guys, man. You don't listen, man. You don't get it. Nobody cares how good your English is. Just fucking write a good story. Man. Sam? Sam? Yeah. Bring the camera closer. That better, guys? Wait. Oh, wait. I'll bring it further away. That's good. Yeah. So, Ivan, that's a common pattern you see with these aspiring fantasy authors. Yeah, they don't get it, man. They every time I read it, you can tell they're trying to wow you with their knowledge of the English literature, and they think they're writing a good story by doing that. Nah, man. Try to wow them with your story form, not your English words. There's a difference between a great writer and a great storyteller. Wow them with your story. Try to come up with a good story. Stop trying and be simple. Stop trying to wow them with your English literature. You think you're telling a good story by writing good English, but you're not. Nobody cares about how good your English is when they read a book. They care about how good your story is. And the best advice I can give all you aspiring fantasy authors, just be simple. Be a simple writer and tell a good story. Stop trying to wow them with your English literature and thinking you're telling a good story when you're not. So you're going to bore the reader. They're going to DNF your book. Samsara? Yeah. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I wrote my book and you guys read it. You know how I don't use all these overuse of the English words, yet my story's so entertaining. My characters on one page. Yes, just be simple and write a good story. Tell a good story. Stop trying to wow the reader with your English literature, guys. But a lot of these aspiring fantasy authors, they don't understand. They don't get it, man. Every time I read stuff on Fantasy Reddit, you can tell the aspiring authors, they think they're writing a good story by wowing you with their knowledge of English literature. All these big words. And yet the story's not going anywhere. It's boring. because they don't understand a lot of those guys. Some of the writing there is pretty good, but most of it is not that great, right? Yeah. And a lot of those aspiring authors on Fantasy Writers Reddit, they're much better writers than me in terms of knowledge of English literature, but they're not great storytellers. They don't know how to tell a good story. They think they're telling a good story by wowing you with their knowledge of English literature when they're not. The story's not going anywhere, it's boring. Because they don't listen, man. I keep telling you guys, man, stop trying to wow the reader with your English literature. Just wow them with your story and be simple, man. Stop trying to use all these big English words. And you think you're telling a good story by using all these big English words. Using a lot of big English words can confuse the reader. And you can bore the reader with your info dumps for like 3-4 pages. Stop doing that, man. A lot of these fantasy writers and fantasy writers, they don't listen. You know. Some sound? Yeah. When you guys read My Very Unique, you know how my writing there is also simple too. And when I describe stuff like the landscape, like Elmer, how there's one McDonald's, I use very simple language, and yet my story is very entertaining because I'm a simple writer. I'm an amazing storyteller. Yeah. Some sound? Yeah. Ivan, what's the best advice to keep the reader hooked in each chapter? Throw in conflicts with your characters, or throw in a big climax. It doesn't hurt to throw foreshadowing hints in there too, and try to leave every chapter with a cliffhanger, which keeps the reader guessing and engaged, and they're more hooked reading your novel. As all my chapters end with cliffhangers when you read it in my book, right? They all end with cliffhangers. Yeah, the prologue ends with... I don't want to spoil too much of the story for you, but the prologue ends with Queen Sarah. She tells Cassius, make no mention of the devil wolves to Tacitonius and Tactius. And there's other stuff too, but I don't want to spoil the story for you. The end of Young Tactius, it ends with Tactius saying, one of these days I'm going to leave these walls. May destiny guide me. Obviously. 22 years later, you guys read the end of that chapter. It ends with Tactius, Sirius, and Papyri. The wolves come to Mark Cyrus, then Sirius says we must go at once. Or Papyri says Sirius says we must go at once. And that keeps the reader guessing, oh my god, what's going to happen next? And you guys read a couple of the first pages of What Was Cyrus, Cyrus No More, the next chapter. And What Was Cyrus, Cyrus No More ends with Tactius, Sirius, and Papyri. They arrive to Saphius. And you're wondering, oh my god, what's going to happen when Tactius and them arrive to a new city, a new land in the south? You keep the reader engaged, you keep the reader guessing of what could possibly happen next. It doesn't hurt to throw in big climaxes in your chapters. They keep the reader engaged and hooked. If you don't have a climax, or a cliffhanger, or a conflict with your characters, and you don't throw in, or at least don't throw in a foreshadowing hint, that equals a boring chapter. So you wrote a boring chapter. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, but Ivan, like Jed Hearn and Daniel Green and Brad Zansnall, they might disagree with you. Yeah, I recommend you take advices from all places, right? Take my advice, take Jed Hearn's advice, take Daniel Green's advice, especially Brad Sanderson, take his advice, and that's how you learn, obviously. Because every author has different writing styles, they obviously have different opinions, and they have different advices, obviously. So you gotta what? Watch all sides, and you can learn from that, obviously. Yeah. Some saying? Listen to all sides of the argument, of the advice, right? Yeah. Some saying? Listen to all the sides. But I recommend you take the advice from me. Because I wrote a better book than all those guys, man. I wrote an even better book than Brandon Sanderson. As Xanus is even better than Way of Kings. And all you fantasy Reddit fans, you read Way of Kings, obviously, and you read my book. What book is more entertaining when you read it? My book is, yeah. As I recommend you take the advice from me. I wrote the best fantasy novel ever written, man. And I know what I'm talking about, man. And this is the advice I'm going to give you. Be simple when you write. Stop trying to be smart with your English words. Nobody cares how good your English is when they read a book. They care how good your story form is. Your art of storytelling is. It's not about the English literature. It's about the story. The story. But a lot of these fantasy writers or fantasy Reddit, they can't get it through their head. They think they're telling a good story by writing beautiful English. No. You tell a good story by writing a beautiful story and beautiful characters and creating a beautiful world. It's not the English literature. It doesn't hurt to have you could include beautiful English words, but don't do too much of it. You can confuse the reader and you can bore the reader with your info dumps, man. Nobody cares how good your English is. They care about how good your story is. I'm sorry? A lot of these writers on Fantasy Writers Reddit, they don't get it. They just don't get it, yeah. They don't get it. I know what I'm talking about. I wrote Xanus and I wrote They're Unique. I know, this is my advice. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And my Xanus book will be a best-selling book, selling hundreds of millions of copies. I recommend you take advice from me over these other guys. As my book will sell way more copies than all these guys on YouTube and these famous authors. Xanus will beat out Way of Kings. It will beat out George R. R. Martin's Game of Thrones. You're looking at hundreds of millions of copies. It'll beat out Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, yeah. I'm not saying you shouldn't take advice from those guys. Also, watch their stuff. Get advice from them too, but it doesn't listen to all sides of the spectrum. My advice, Jed Hearn's advice, Daniel Green's advice, Brandon Sanderson's advice, George R. R. Martin's advice. Watch all those guys, and that's how you learn. Alright? Yeah, but I told you, because all these authors have different writing styles, they obviously have differences of opinions, obviously, in terms of their advice for writing a great fantasy novel. Obviously. Alright? Yeah. Samsara? Yeah, guys, I was mistaken. James Gunn's Superman comes out tomorrow, July 11th. Today's Thursday, so today's July 10th. Tomorrow, James Gunn's Superman will be officially released at the theaters. I recommend all you guys around the world, Europe, Canada, North America, you watch Superman, man. That's going to be an amazing movie. James Gunn's Superman, yeah. Samsara? Yeah. Yeah, and I noticed something about your writing. You're a very simple writer. Yes, I'm a very simple writer, but yet my story's beautifully written. Because I focus more on just telling a good story, less on trying to wow you with how my knowledge of the English literature. And that's what a lot of these aspiring fantasy authors don't get. They think they're telling a good story by writing beautiful English when they're not. Like, just tell a good story and be simple, man. Stop trying to wow the reader with your beautiful English, man. They don't get it, man. Yeah. Focus on telling a good story, less on writing good English. Writing a story is not about writing good English. It's about writing a good story. The story form, the story art form. It's about telling a good story. Some sound? Yeah. Ivan, do you recommend we brainstorm our chapters? It just depends what kind of storyteller you are. If you're a gardener like George R. Martin and me, then you don't need to brainstorm your chapters. But it doesn't hurt to brainstorm your chapters a little bit. That way you have a little bit of foundation of what can happen. As I brainstorm Volume 3 and Volume 2, I brainstorm my chapters a little bit, right? So you can do both. You can be the gardener and the architect. You brainstorm your chapters, obviously. But if you want in your beginning stage, when you want to come up with a fantasy story, you obviously have to do your brainstorming about your characters and your world building. As I brainstorm Xanus too, obviously the world building and everything. For your chapters, it doesn't hurt to throw in a few notes here and there. That way you're not lost, and you have an idea of what happens in each chapter. But I'm a gardener kind of writer. I'm like George R. Martin. I plant the seed. I let the story grow on me, and as the story grows, that's how I progress with my writing. But there's some people who don't write like that. They prefer to be the architect. They plan out each chapter. There's nothing wrong with that. It depends on what kind of style of writer you are. It doesn't hurt to plan out your chapters, obviously, a little bit. That way you have foundation. When you write your book, obviously, your fantasy novel. Some say your fantasy manuscript, some say. Yeah. Like for They're Unique, if I write it, I'm actually going to plan out each of my chapters more thoroughly. I'm going to plan out. Get my notebook, and I plan it out. I'll have maybe 14, 15 chapters. I plan it out. I plan out my chapters. But I'm a gardener kind of writer. I'm going to write They're Unique. And then as the story grows on me, that's how I progress in my writing. I come up with more ideas for my story, for each of my chapters. If I write They're Unique, some Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, are you lying, man? Did you use AI for Xanus? No, I didn't. I didn't even know about AI when I wrote Xanus. I wrote it on my own, man. Yeah. Well, I showed you I wrote that, guys. I wrote it. Yeah. I'm not lying. What I showed you, I wrote it. I wrote the story. I wrote it. Sam, I wrote it. Ivan, show us more. No, I'm not showing you more of my book. I don't want to spoil the story for you. Especially Volume 3. I'm not showing you Volume 3. I don't want to spoil the story for you. So I'm sorry. I thought you said you're gonna do your go-to series. I'll do my go-to series Monday when I'm off. Today I decided to do a double header. This video might only be maybe an hour long. I don't feel like talking for long. Maybe an hour and 15, 20 minutes long. I'm a little tired. I don't feel like talking for too long. After that, I'll take a nice hot shower. And then I'll enjoy the show with you guys. And after that, I'm going to watch some John Campea. And maybe Andor later on tonight. I'll binge maybe 2 episodes. I'm almost on Andor. I'm on episode 7. Binge that. And after Andor, I'm going to binge Last of Us Season 2. And after that, I'm going to binge Game of Thrones. I'm on Season 3 of Game of Thrones. I binged the first 2 seasons a couple months ago, right, on Crave. Yeah. You don't have HBO Max? No, because my Chromecast, there is no HBO Max. But Crave has licensing rights to play some of HBO shows. Like Crave, I watched The Penguin on Crave. Last of Us is on Crave. And Game of Thrones is on Crave, so I'm watching it on my Crave account. But Crave is expensive. I pay like $25 a month for Crave. It's expensive, yeah. And I also have Amazon Prime. And my younger stepbrother, he has Netflix and Disney. So I use his account to watch Disney stuff on Disney Plus. And stuff on Netflix, obviously. Like I watched Snow White on with the Rachel chick, whatever her name is. I watched the live action Snow White a couple days ago. It was okay. It wasn't that good, right? There's a reason why the movie flopped. The movie wasn't that good. The live action Snow White with Rachel Zegler, whatever her name is, that movie wasn't that good, right? It was okay. It was not bad. But it wasn't that good, obviously. Yeah. Ivan, what's your favorite live action Disney adaptation? Lion King and Aladdin. Aladdin was really good. Aladdin was really good. I loved Aladdin. Aladdin's not as good as the original. The original I like better. The Lion King live action was really good too. But the Lion King, it's not really live action because it's not real like actors in real life, but they call it live action. The Lion King live action that came out, I love that movie. That was really good. The Aladdin movie with Will Smith, I love that too. That was really good too. But all the other live action stuff that came out, I didn't really like it. Like Mufasa, I DNF'd it. I saw the first 10 minutes of it and it was a bit boring. I didn't like it. Mufasa was not that good. The Cinderella live action was okay. It wasn't that good. And the Snow White live action, no offense, it wasn't that good, obviously. I like the originals better, obviously. Yeah. Do you like the live action Lion King better or the original Lion King? I'm going to give it to the original. You can't beat the Disney classics, right? The Disney original classics, you can't top it. The Disney original classics are so good, the live action movies can't top it, right? They just can't top it. The originals are just too good. Yeah. The Aladdin live action remake was good. I loved it. But even that's not as good as the original one, right? I like the original one better. And the original Lion King I like better than the live action Lion King. But I love the live action Lion King that came out like 6 years ago. But Snow White was a crapshoot. It wasn't that good with the Rachel actor. It was okay. It wasn't that good. I saw it like 2 days ago on Disney Plus. It wasn't that good, obviously. I'm sidetracking, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyways, I have to use the bathroom. I'm like back in a sec. Let's go. We want to have a lot. Who got join the show? Alright guys, I'm back. I have to use the bathroom. I won't tell you what I did. It's gross, but I have to use the bathroom, right? When you gotta go, right? Yeah. Oh, I work tomorrow at Cocoa Fruity, right? Yeah. So I'll make a video in the afternoon, evening after my shift at Cocoa Fruity tomorrow, Friday, right? Yeah. Ivan, if you can write a good fantasy novel, can you write your own screenplay? Yes. As there's not that much of a difference between screenwriting and writing a novel. But screenwriting is a bit more difficult because it's motion picture, so you have to constantly picture every scene in your mind, in your head, in your mind. Yeah. The only thing I struggle with screenwriting is the formatting structure you have to follow. That stuff confuses me a little bit. But in terms of the creativity, I won't struggle with that, as I already have an idea how I want Xanus to start in my mind, right? Yeah, I want to have my software engineer when I build my office design a screenwriting formatting thing for me, whereby I just fill in the blanks. The formatting is already done for me for my script. But Peter Jackson knows the formatting structure. He'll help me out with that. Yeah, Peter, I struggle a little bit with the formatting stuff. Yeah, I know about all that stuff. Peter will take the stress off me. But in terms of the creativity, I don't struggle with that, you know. Sarah? Well, I will reread that book that I bought by Side Field. This book here, I have in my library. Side Field's Screenplay: The Foundations of Screenwriting. This is probably the best book on screenwriting. I recommend all you aspiring screenwriters you buy this book. Fucking amazing book, man. I learned a lot. You have the formatting stuff here. Yeah. Obviously. So the only thing you struggle with is the formatting stuff confuses me a little bit. Hence why when I'm king with VJ, I'm going to reread this book. That way I'm going to reread it, obviously. I'm going to bring this book with me as my collection. I'm going to reread it. I want to have the software engineer design a screenwriting formatting thing for me, software for me, whereby the formatting is already done for me. I'm not confused. But Peter will take that trust on me. He knows about the formatting stuff. When it comes to creativity and all stuff, that stuff I don't struggle with. I'm a creative genius. It's the formatting structure that confuses me a little bit. Yeah. Because I'm not that smart of a guy, right? Even though I read this book, I didn't grasp everything that I read because I forgot a lot of stuff that I read because I'm stupid. The gatekeepers fucked up my mind. They fried my brain. I'm a pretty stupid guy, but when it comes to creativity, I'm a genius, obviously. Yeah. Oh fuck. So you're saying you're gonna write a good script for Xanus? Yes, I will. Follow the book, you will get a masterpiece of a screenplay. Peter would tell me, yeah, I mean, if we follow your book page by page, you're looking at a masterpiece. But I am going to be adding more stuff with Peter when we co-write the screenplay. I'm going to be adding quite a lot of stuff in the movie to make it more interesting, obviously. Like the trial. In the book, Tactius is not put on trial. Well, he is put on trial, but he's put on trial like right when they arrest him in his bedroom. But in the movie, they arrest him, and after that, they put him on trial in Eli's quarters. You add stuff to make it more interesting, obviously, to make the story more interesting, which is better for motion picture. Here's the guy, if you put Takis on trial, that's better for the movie. Yeah, we make it more interesting, obviously, when we write the screenplays, Ms. Arrow. That's my point, yeah. But I can even write I can even write the screenplay myself with no help. But I'm scared if I write it on my own, obviously with nobody to challenge me, the writing might be maybe a little raw in some sections. In my opinion, for screenwriting, you should co-write it with somebody to help you out. Because screenwriting is a totally different medium than writing a novel. I told you, if you can write an amazing novel, you can write your own screenplay. And there's not that much of a difference, right? But screenwriting is more difficult because it's motion picture. So you have to picture the scenes in your head, right? In your mind. I told you, because me and Peter are going to be following the book page by page, it will not be difficult for us to write the book because we have a foundation. We have the Xanus book. And Peter's like, yeah, if we follow your book page by page and we add stuff, you're looking at a masterpiece. I mean, yeah, I'll add more dialogue, more scenes to make it more interesting, but it'll be a masterpiece. My movie, right? When I write the screenplay with Peter and Guillermo del Toro and Fran, right? The Xanus screenplay, yeah, the Xanus script. Yeah. Yeah. But to take the stress off Peter Jackson, I'm only gonna work. We only work on the script for maybe 3 hours a day, Peter. That way you're not stressed out. But you don't want to do a thing where you work on the script all day for like, I don't know, 8 hours, 9 hours a day. And then Peter has to take his notes, and we wrote like 10 pages, and Peter has to take notes for 10 pages, which can take him 3 hours to do. You're gonna stress him out. Just write the script like 3 hours a day. Write maybe 3-4 pages, and then it'll take Peter maybe an hour and a half to take his notes. We'll get him all torn in his hotel room. In the afternoon, we focus on the concert arts with John Howe and Alan Lee. Building the world of the movie. Yeah, what do the lands look like? What do the demonic characters look like? What kind of clothes do the characters wear in the world? What do the weapons look like? I want the Zanes to have different weapons than the wolves and the bats. They design, John Howley, they draw pictures of what kind of weapons the bats and the wolves have. Eratet's sword. In the book, Eratet has an axe. In the movie, he has a sword. Because we can make that change. Yeah, Eratet has a sword in the movie. In the book, he has an axe. We'll make that minor change when we adapt the book, obviously, to the big screen. Here's Ivan. I'm having a blast doing the concert. This is fun. I know the docum's filming it too. He was having a blast. Yeah, work on my movie. Even writing the screenplay will be fun. The doc will be filming us. Not all the time. I'm gonna tell the doc, look, man, film me and Peter writing the script maybe twice a week. That's good enough. Twice a week. And when you guys see the documentary, you're gonna get a glimpse of me writing the screenplay with Peter. Not everything, but you're getting a glimpse of me writing portions of each volume, right? Yeah, film me and Peter writing this screenplay twice a week, guys. And also film the 17 making the business calls. Film me, VJ, and Peter making the business calls for the main things. Yeah. How many times a week? I film us maybe 2 to 3 times a week. That's enough. And the other 3 days, you focus on other stuff, obviously. The concert arts. Yeah. As we're looking at an amazing documentary from Isaiah's movie. The documentary will have crazy buzz too. Because Ivan, you should charge the fans for the documentary. I want more money, Ivan. You give me a nice piece of that. I'm like, no, Peter, I'm not going to charge the fans for the documentary. I'm going to release it for free on my website. But the merchandise is moving the game. I'm going to charge the fans for that. I need to make my money, right? I invested a lot of money into this. I have to make my money back, obviously. Yeah. So, Sarah. Will Peter Jackson accept a deal Ivan for Xanus? Yes, he will. He doesn't make this in Hollywood. He signed a mega 1.3, 1.6 billion deal, Peter. So massive contract. He's walking away like 800 million in his bank. Yeah. If I make more than 20, I'll give Peter 850 and I'll give him 250 million for the game. If I make under 20, maybe my 17, 18, 19, I'll give Peter his 800. Yeah. I'll just give Peter his 800. Even if I make 17 million, I'll give Peter 800. Considering I know I'm gonna make tens of billions off my movie merchant game, I'll give Peter no less than 800 of the film profits. If I make 20 plus, I can give him a bit more, 850, and I give him 250 million for the game. But if I make under 20, Peter gets 200 million for the game and 200 million for the merch, and he gets his 85 million base for the movie Peter. That's like a 104 million deal in his usual money. So Peter signed a 100 million deal for his base for 4 years of work. That's a good deal for Peter, and he gets his 200 million for the game profits, 200 million for the merch profits, and a rich 850 million of the film profits. That's a 1.3 billion deal in Canadian money, which is 1.6 billion in his own money. Fucking massive contract for Peter. The way it works hard for you, Ivan, and you also give him unlimited budget. Yeah. If I make 20, I'll make Xanus for 2.7. You give Peter a $900 million budget per volume. That way Peter Jackson has an unlimited budget for your movie, Ivan. Sorry. How much do you put towards visual effects if you make your movie for 900, Xanus movie for $900? I'll put 60 million towards visual effects around there for the movie. I'll put a good 250 million towards the costumes, armor, weapons, and the mask. That way Weather Workshop has a big budget to create tens of thousands of armor and weapons for the wolves and the Zane army, all that stuff. And I'll put a good 60, 65, 7 million towards settling. And a good 120, 130 million towards extras. Because the extras are going to cost me tens of millions. People will tell me, yeah, I mean, you need to put like your $130 million budget towards extras. Yeah. You want to afford to. Because I told you the Exodus scene might take a month to film that, right? So if it takes a month to film, that's costing me like $30 million on a budget. And the war might take 3 months to film. That might cost me $50 million on the budget. Since you got to have a huge like $130 million budget towards extras. The actors in Switzerland to afford that, right? Yeah. Previously, Ivan, like Hollywood can't afford this. In Hollywood, we only have like 200 extras when we have an Exodus. Yeah, for Lord of the Rings, they have maybe 200 extras for the Exodus. Because in Two Towers, they also had an Exodus too. A small Exodus, but they had an Exodus to Helm's Deep, right? But they only had like 200 extras. Because Hollywood can't afford to have 5,000 extras. They don't have that kind of budget. What they do is they add in the visual effects to make it look like there's more people. Because Hollywood can't afford that, obviously. But I have a huge budget. I can afford to have 5,000 extras for the Exodus. A huge Exodus. Biggest Exodus in movie history, right? Yeah. Take something like Prince of Egypt. That's why I'll start to hit previous minds. I've been looking at our marks, man. This is Brother of the Rings, all right? No, please, Brother of the Rings. Masterpiece, man. The movie, right? Masterpiece, yeah. Some Zara. What will be more fun, writing the screenplay or doing the concert arts? Oh, the concert arts will be more fun than writing the screenplay. But me and Peter are also going to have a blast writing that screenplay, man. Peter will tell me, all right, this is fun, because he knows the whole world's buzzing about the movie. The movie's greenlit. Peter signs his mega deal. They see the news on my Sky Source website. And the Docting's filming us, a glimpse of it. And Peter's like, I'm having a blast writing your screenplay. Are you having more fun than Lord of the Rings, Peter? Yeah, I'm having way more fun than your movie than Lord of the Rings, Ivan. Are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, you're the star of the movie, Ivan. Yeah. Peter's all excited for my movie more than Lord of the Rings, right? More than he was for Lord of the Rings, right? Yeah. I gave him all the budget. I don't know, 866, 900 billion budget per volume, man. A huge budget. Yeah. And that's a good investment because me and VJ are going to make our tens of billions off the movie. Why? If you know you're going to make your tens of billions, why don't you put more money into the movie? Because I don't want to be stupid with my money. I can easily put $6 billion towards Zane's, $2 billion per movie. And you look at something even more top notch, but $1 billion is already revolutionary, right? I'm not going to put any more than $3 billion. I want to be super my money. Yeah. $1 billion per volume is enough money for Xanus. That's more than enough. Way more than enough right now. Like, Peter has an unlimited budget. He can do whatever he wants to do for the movie. Peter Jackson, Sarah. Yeah. That's why all the directors in Hollywood will envy Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson. Because I gave them an unlimited budget and I signed them to a huge deal. Yeah, Peter signed that mega deal, obviously, and Ivan gave him, I don't know, a $2.7 billion budget, which is $900 million per volume, or a $3 billion budget, $1 billion per volume. Fucking huge budget, man. Unlimited resources are revolutionary technology, man. Yeah. For the movie. Sarah. Biggest budget movie in history, man. Yeah. No movie has been made for that kind of money before. Yeah. Yeah, Ivan. So once you tell Peter how much money you're putting towards the movie, like, I don't know, 2.7 billion, 900 million per volume, Peter Jackson will be shocked. Yeah, he'll be shocked. And when I tell John Howard and Ali, I want Aratat to be scared, and even these pictures here I showed you guys, 3, 4 to 5 times scarier. Peter might tell me, Ivan, like, that's a bit too scary. That's a bit too scary for the children, Ivan. Yeah. Because Peter not stupid. He knows, yeah, if you put $50 million towards special effects and visual effects, and you put $250 million towards the mask and the other stuff, you're looking at walking devils and demons. This is way too scary for the world. It's way too scary for the children, Ivan. I know, Peter, but I want to tell a powerful story. The kids can watch it with their parents. Their parents can comfort them, or they can watch when they're older. I want Erda to be a devil. Ephesus to be a devil. That way I tell a powerful story. I know I'm doing. Some Sarah. Yeah. Even John Han Ali is like, Ivan, you want Aratat to be scarier than even this clip here I showed you guys, right? And Ephesus scary, and Double Hannibal, 2 or 3 times scary, and you're putting all that money towards the technology of the mask. Peter's like, Ivan, that's way too scary, man. Because Peter's not stupid. He knows it's a realization of horror and technology. Yes, Peter, that way I tell a powerful story, and it's a masterpiece. And the world's hooked, and they feel for us, me and the actors. Okay, fine, Ivan. I'm just saying that's a bit too scary, man. That's way too scary for the children. I know, Peter, they can watch it when they're older, and their parents could comfort them. It's not a big deal. You turn me into porn star. Don't play that morality game with me, Peter. You guys turn me into porn star, and you cause this mess in my life. I shut you for good. You can't say shit. Yeah, I mean, you shut me for good. Yes, Peter, I shut you for good. Some Sarah. Some Sarah. Is my camera adjusted though? Yeah. Some Sarah. Hence why I'm gonna keep saying this. The Xanus stars, the Hollywood Xanus stars, once they do Xanus, they're gonna be legends. As they fought the most horrific means of history, looking at demons and devils. Scarier than even what I showed you guys, man. Looking at devils, man. Yeah. Previous eyes looking at a match, man. This is better than my Lord of the Rings. I know previous better than the Rings. Yeah. Some sire. So it's a revolutionary technology, yeah. My movie will blow the Avatar technology out of the water. As Avatar, the Avatar movies are only made for maybe $300 million. They probably put a good maybe 80, 100 million towards James Cameron's Pandora. You know, I'm putting 500 plus million towards the world building. You're looking at something unheard of, man. Yeah. And real horror. It will blow. If you think The Conjuring, The Exorcist, all these movies that came out in the past are scary, nothing. Xanus will push the horror to the limit, man. This is the revolution of horror. And now you guys understand why Xanus will have crazy worldwide buzz, man. Once the world sees what Eriton them are like, holy shit, those are fucking devils. Yeah, it has crazy worldwide buzz. And the world's excited to see the movie, yeah. That's why Xanus will have crazy white buzz, yeah, man. And those Xanus stars are gonna beg their ass off for me. We should resign them, but they're not good for the great same kind of reason. I keep saying that, right? They're not good. You know. Yeah. And what else up, man? I'm like, no, John, you get 10. Stop being greedy, man. Yeah. I know, John, you're getting greedy. I'm not going to pay you 20. Ivan, it's nothing. I know it's nothing, John, but you're not worth that. I'm not going to sign you to like a 33 million deal, John. You ripped me off. You're not worth that. John might be worth maybe his 15, 16 million, 17, 18 million in a good 8, 9, 10 years from now. I'm not going to overpay John Maega and have him do like that, man. No way. Some Sarah. You get your 10 max. I'm not paying you any more than 10, John. That's a lot of money. Get your 9 million base, your 10 million film profit royalty check. I can pay you 2 million for the game. That's 22 million. You get your 250K for the promos. You also have your speaking money, which is a good, I don't know, $1 million in speaking. So John Maega signed a 23 million deal, which is like a 12.5, 13 million deal in his pounds, his English pounds. I told you, 23 million in Canadian money is equivalent to $13 million in his English pounds. That's why it's a huge, massive deal for John Maega. He's like, holy shit, that's a fucking massive deal. I don't make this on with Ivan. Yeah, John Maega makes like his 2, 3, 4 in Hollywood. Yeah. Guys like Matt Damon and Tom Cruise and Liam Neeson make their 12 in Hollywood. They're 15, 20 in Hollywood. And John Maega signed an A-lister deal, a bigger A-lister deal. He signed a massive contract. It's a dumb one. Yeah, you read John, I'm saying. It's a dumb one. I'm saying, yeah. And what else that one? I'm like, no, John, you get 9. Stop being greedy, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. That's why the agents and managers are going to want a piece of the speaking money too. Yeah, John Mayer goes speaking. We want our cut of that too, our 10% cut. Because the agents are not stupid. They know the speaking fee deal for my company is a huge deal. We're going to be speaking, I don't know, a good like 80 places around the world. So the actors are pulling in their 750, 800, 900, million, 2 million, 3 in speaking money, man. That's what the agents want to cut of that too. Yeah, we want our 130 grand off John. Because they're greedy agents, yeah. My managers, right? They're greedy pigs. They know it's a big deal, right? The actors might be a bit pissed off, but you guys got to give your 10% cut to your agents. They're representing you guys. They have to get paid too, right? You have to pay them, obviously, when you get your checks, right? A deal's a deal, right? Yeah. I know the actors' expenses paid for the World Tour. Yes, obviously, their expenses are all paid for. Their traveling expenses, living expenses, transportation expenses, feeding expenses paid for. I don't have to pay for their feeding. The actors can easily afford to pay for their own food, but you don't want to have the actors spend a good maybe $2,500, $3,000 of their money on food. No, you got to cover their feeding too during the World Tour. And their travel expenses are paid for. They're flying on me and VJ's 2 private jets. They'll be staying at luxury hotel suites when we land in each city. They have limo services or drivers, so the transportation expenses are paid for. And I'm also going to feed them too. You know how Neatus in his vlogs, he feeds his team? Yeah, the actors, I'm going to feed them, obviously. But to make sure they're fed well, I'm not going to do the one plate bullshit thing like Neatus does in his vlogs. Like Neatus, when he takes his team out to dinner, they go to a nice restaurant, but they only eat one plate. No, I'm going to make sure we go to a buffet restaurant where the actors can have all you can eat and they're fed well. For breakfast, dinner, and dessert. So sorry, huh? Breakfast, dinner, and dessert. Yeah. Sorry, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah, for the World Tour. If you guys want to go downstairs to the hotel and have a drink with your co-stars, that's your own money. I'm not paying for you. If you want to go to the store and get clothes and shoes for yourself and your girlfriend or your wife and your husband or your family, that's your own money. I'm not paying for you, obviously. But sometimes the round will be on me. I'll take the stars out to a bar in the hotel and the rounds are all on me, obviously, sometimes. And the parties, I'll pay for the alcohol and everything. That's on me. When we go to a club or we party up at my suite, the alcohol cost is on me. But if you want to go downstairs and have a drink with your co-stars, guys, the Xanus Hollywood stars, that's your own money. I'm not paying for you. But everything else is paid for. The actors don't have to pay for anything, obviously. Because you can't have the actors pay for their hotel room. You're going to drain their money, right? Yeah, they're multi-millions, but they're not as rich as me and VJ, right? And you can't have the actors pay for their hotel room and their fee and their transportation. No, you have to cover that. You have to pay for that, right? Yeah, living expenses, pay for everything. Yeah. That's why they're gonna beg. They had a blast during the World Tour. Yeah, I had a blast during that World Tour. That was fucking fun. All the crazy fans in the city, man, they were training with me during the World Tour. All the parties. Like the experience, the Mel Gibson experience I showed you guys last year. Yeah, 2 years ago, whatever it is. Was it last year or 2 years ago? 2 years ago, 2023, I showed you guys, right? The Mel Gibson experience, yeah. Picture something like that, man, yeah, for my World Tour. And the Xanus stars are staying at luxury hotel suites. Because I'm going to tell my presidents, make sure you book a luxury hotel. Not a standard one, a luxury hotel. A luxury hotel. So the actors are staying at luxury hotel suites. Like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 night suites. I'm going to tell the presidents, don't go any higher than $5,000 for the suite. Otherwise, I can easily afford to have the actors stay at even $10,000 night suites, but you're going to drain a lot of the budget. Anything over $5,000, don't rent it. Yeah, $2,000, $3,000 night suite is a fucking nice suite. That's a suite with a jacuzzi and everything. Yeah, the actors are staying in beautiful suites, man. With a jacuzzi and everything, yeah. How long will you be staying in each city? Probably no more than 2-3 days we stay in the city, right? Maybe 2 days max we stay in the city, and after that we have to fly to the next city, next country, whatever it is. Yeah, hence why you have to have the actors flown privately. Never have the actors fly commercial during your World Tour. You're going to wear the actors out. You don't want to have the actors wait like 2-3 hours in the airport and they fly with everyone else. No, they fly VIP privately on me and VJ's private jets. I know you guys are excited for the World Tour. I know John Boyega, know what I'm saying? Jimon Su, Avant Jose, you guys are excited for the world tour, but make sure you bring your passports. If you forget your passports, I have to send you back home, and you're not gonna go world touring with me. Yeah, and you gotta bring your briefcase. I'm gonna provide you guys with your Ziploc bags for your checks. Yeah. Make sure you bring your passport, guys. If you don't have your passport, you can't fly with me. As even though the actors get VIP and they're flying privately, the customs still check your plane, right? They have to check the plane by law, right? Yeah, they check the plane. They check all the actors' bags. So don't bring any illegal drugs with you guys. Otherwise, what? You can get arrested for that, right? Yeah. Obviously. How crazy is the World Tour fame? Oh my God. It's international fame. Every city we land in, imagine the whole city cheering us on. The whole fucking city, millions of people cheering us on, man. It's crazy. And the actors will be training with me too, and a lot of people are going to also interview the actors during the World Tour with their phones. Hey, what does it feel like to be in this movie? And they interview me and the actors behind the scenes. Yeah. You have the group interviews, the one-on-one interviews, and the main event interview. You also have people down the streets who are going to interview John Boyega, Avant Jose, and Jimon Su, and all of them. Yeah. Some sound. Yeah, it's crazy. That's why they're gonna beg, man. My calling blows out of water. They never experienced that kind of international fame before, the Hollywood Xanus stars. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. And the Hollywood actors are gonna be making videos on their social media too during the World Tour. Like John Boyega might make a video. They're about to call us out for the main venue. He's like, hey guys, and you hear the roaring like fans of like, I don't know, 20, 30, 4,000 people. Hey guys, I'm about to get interviewed, and I give you John Boyega, and they film that, a bit of that, and they post on social media, and all the hard artists are like, holy shit, man, looks like they're having a blast, man. That's fucking crazy fame, man. You have like 20, 30, 40,000 fans roaring in the background, and all the hard artists feel like shit. You also have the crazy fans in the city, man, cheering us on, interviewing all the actors behind the scenes. It's crazy, man. That's why it's an adrenaline rush. The Hollywood actors for Xanus, they feel on top of the world. That's why they're gonna beg their asses up after the journey's over with, because they know in Hollywood they're not gonna get that fame. And I can easily pay them more money too. My comedy blows out of the wire. It's like Incredibles. As in Hollywood, when the actors go touring a little bit, I guarantee Hollywood flies some commercial. I remember I saw the Black Panther stuff on Twitter. They flew Chadwick Boseman and Lupita Nyong'o and Michael B. Jordan commercial for the tour. Never fly your actors commercial for the World Tour. You're gonna wear them out, man. No, they fly privately on me. We just private Incredible jets. Incredibles jets, right? Like Incredibles, which is a nice perk, obviously. They fly private on the jets, right? Yeah. Will George Lucas and Jeff Bezos and them come? If George Lucas wants to be a part of the World Tour and Jeff Bezos, they have to pay for their own flights. I'm not paying for them. George, you're already a multi-billionaire. If you want to come with me, you have to fly on your own private jet. And if Jeff Bezos wants to bring his CEO boys with him and watch the World Tour, yeah, he's paying for that himself. I'm not paying for Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is fucking rich. He'll be richer than me and VJ. I'm not paying for his flights. You want to rent your suites, Jeff, you got to pay for that yourself too. I'm not paying for you. And you can easily afford it. It's pocket change, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is fucking rich, man. Second, third richest man in the world, right? He's worth like his $200 billion, Jeff Bezos. It's huge, yeah. But if Jeff Bezos come, will you have him be in the panel? No. Jeff Bezos is my distributor, my business partner. In Hollywood, the distributors don't get interviewed. It's the actors, the directors, and the producers who get interviewed. That's how it works, right? Yeah. It'll be me, VJ, Peter, Guillermo Toro, my two presidents, my head of production, and like a good like 11, 12 of the Xanus stars are coming with me, and that's it. Only like the main like 11, 12 guys are coming with me, and the rest can't come. Obviously, as not all of them can fit in my two jets. My main jet might fit maybe 12 to 14 people. My small jet might fit maybe 8 people. So I can't bring everyone with me. I'm not renting another jet for the other actors. No, like not all the actors are coming with me. I'm not going to bring all 35 actors with me. That's crazy. They're going to drain my money and they're going to cost me more money, right? Yeah. Only bring a good 11 of the Xanus Hollywood stars. And then you bring Peter with you. Get him all Toro as your assistant director. He comes too. And then your 2 presidents, and you have me, VJ, and my head of production. Yeah, and that's it. Some sour. Yeah. And that's why VJ cries. She doesn't want to miss out on that amazing life I'm living, right? Yeah. Because she got duped by the gates, right? Tori Justice got duped by the gates, man. Yeah, unfortunately, right now. I opened her eyes. Yeah, Ivan, you opened my eyes. I got duped. Yeah, VJ, you have the keys to the kingdom. You're supposed to be a multi-billionaire. You sold out to the Hollywood system, to the gatekeepers, and you're only worth your $12 million. Which means the gatekeepers locked the doors on VJ and they duped the shit out of her, man. She's only worth $12 million. Hence why I'm not selling, because I know they're going to dupe me too. I'm only worth maybe my 40, 50 million Hollywood if I sell out. And they steal all my billion, my tens of millions. No fucking way. That money's mine. It's not yours, man. All the 100 trillions goes to you. These billions is for me, VJ. It's not for you. You're just a greedy psychopath. Some siren. Yeah. So Peter Jackson won a bigger chunk of the pie for the World Tour. Yeah, he will. Ivan, are you going to pay more than the actors for the World Tour? I'm like, no, Peter, you get an equal amount with the Hollywood actors. I'm not paying more money. I'm already paying way more than everyone else, Peter. You get an equal amount with the Hollywood actors. Because Peter wants his 2.53 million speaking because he's greedy, man. He'll accept my deal. He doesn't make that in Hollywood, right? Hollywood, he makes like 75, 200K for Comic-Con. And for my company, he's making his 1 million. A lot of money for Peter, obviously. I'm not paying more money for the World Tour. He gets the equal amount of the Hollywood Xanus stars. I'm sorry. Peter Jackson. Yeah. Ivan, please film the World Tour. No, the World Tour I'm not filming, man. The only way I'll film the World Tour is if they do one-on-one group interviews. Chances are they will. They're going to do the main event interview in front of thousands of fans. And they're also going to do the one-on-one group interview. The one-on-one group interview, I can film that. If they do the one-on-one group interview, I can bring 3 of my doc team with me and they can film that. But the main event I'm not filming. And the behind the scenes of what's going on in the hotel and all that stuff, I'm not filming that either. I'm going to tell the doc team, just film the group stuff. And everything else you don't have to film. But to bring 3 cameras with me, I have to rent another jet. to fly them in, obviously, which I can easily afford, obviously. My budget's huge. Yeah, so you're only going to get a glimpse of the world tour, the one-on-one stuff, like they do in Hollywood with the group interviews and the one-on-one interviews with the directors and actors. That stuff I can film, but the main event, I'm not filming that. As you're going to put stress on your doc team. They can't film any interviews. That's crazy, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, you guys are going to see some of the glimpses of it on X. As the fans are going to be making like 2-minute videos on X and posting on X and it's trending, obviously. You guys are pissed off. I wish this was in the public eye. Well, it's your fault. You chose to keep me behind the scenes unless I sell. And it's the whole thing is set up, man. Either you let me make my free money in the public eye and nobody touches me, VJ, or you make us pay and the glory and fame behind the scenes. And now you're pissed off because you're missing out when it's your fault. You would have seen all this in the public eye, but you guys are stupid people, man. It's not my fault. It's your fault. Hopefully Ivan films it and posts it on his Sabados channel. Because you guys are fucking great people. I'm not making any videos when I'm getting 0. Yeah, I'm piecing the fuck out of VJ once I pay the fee, man. Yeah, man. He's like, oh my god, Ivan, this is fucking crazy, man. This is like an adrenaline rush. I know, VJ. Yeah. Oh my god, Ivan, this is fucking crazy. Yeah, the fame is crazy. So that's why you cry, VJ. Yeah, Ivan, are you fucking kidding me? I don't want to miss out on this. Are you fucking crazy? I don't want to be left behind all this shitty career. Seeing hell, yeah. That's why VJ cries. Just she doesn't want to miss out on that life I'm living right now. Because she's a crazy woman. Because VJ knows the families are never going to let her be successful in Hollywood. They locked the doors on her, hence why she got duped. And she wants me to get out of Hollywood. And she wants to have the financial control and the freedom and the fame and success with me. Making all those billions and living that life. Yeah, she doesn't want to miss out on that life, VJ. That's why she's a crazy woman and she cries non-stop every night of the fucking year because she's fucking crazy, man. Yeah. And after that, she bangs guys after that. And that's why I can't take VJ seriously. I'm going to get my girlfriend and lose this weight. I'm sorry, VJ. If you're pissed off, karma's a bitch. I'm not going to listen to you. Well, she'll be angry and pissed off. Oh, yeah, she will. She'll be going crazy. I'm going to fucking kill that bitch, Ivan. I'm going to fucking kill her. I'm going to ignore her. Because as you're demonized, VJ, you're going to keep seeing those guys behind my back and banging them, man. So I'm not going to listen to you either. You don't listen to me, I'm not listening to you either. She's like, fuck you. I'm not seeing you one eye. I'm like, VJ, man, I'm not fucking stupid. I hear you moaning every day. You think I'm stupid? You're seeing the guys, man. It's tough life and I like them. Yeah, I like the chick too. I'm sorry, man. I like the chick too. It's tough for me to stay away too. There you go. Some siren? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but Ivan, why can't you take the Hollywood Xanus stars during the world tour to a standard restaurant? I could take them to a standard restaurant, but if they eat one plate, they might still be hungry. As the best thing to do is go to a buffet restaurant, all you can eat. As every major city has buffets, right? That's what you gotta tell the presidents that. Yeah, Jon Favreau, Peter Rice, James Gunn, Peter Safran, if I grab them from DC, you give them your business card. Make sure you find a luxury hotel every time you land a city, and make sure you find a buffet restaurant. And you also have to find transportation and limo services for us for the world tour and for the actors. Some Sarah. That's why the Zanies are going to have a blast in the world tour. And they're going to post a lot of stuff on their social media. They're bragging, man. And all the Hollywood actors see that crazy fame. Holy shit, man. Ivan's world tour is fucking crazier than our Comic-Con. Yeah, it's much crazier than Comic-Con. Yeah, the Hollywood actors have their Comic-Con going on. Crazy fans, but it's not like my world tour. My world tour, you have the whole city cheering us on, man. And you have venues of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people. Something crazy, yeah. That's why the Zane stars are getting paid so much money, because my venues are huge. 10, 20, 30, 40,000 fans roaring, going crazy, man. It's crazy. The fame, right? Yeah. And the Xanus stars will give the fans a good experience at the event because they know they're getting paid for it. They're getting like their 8, their 7, their 1,200, their 15 grand, their 17 grand, their 25 grand, their 20 grand, their 30 grand. For an hour and a half of speaking, the Xanus stars are gonna give the fans a good experience. I'm gonna tell John Maega of On Jordan, I'll make sure you give the fans a good experience. You're getting paid for this. Give them a good experience. Yeah. I'm giving them an experience. Yeah. And John Maega, Vaughn, Jordan, Jimo, and Sue, Edges Elbow, they give the fans a good experience at the event, right? Yeah. Because they're getting paid for it. Yeah. Ivan, what if all your venues have like 50,000 fans? If all my venues have 50,000 fans, the Xanus stars will be pulling in their 2+ million in speaking. So it just depends on how big the venues are, right? But chances are, on average, probably 20,000 fans average. So the Xanus stars will probably make their 800 million, 1,300,000 in speaking. Obviously. How many places do you think you'll speak at around the world? Probably a good 80 places around there. 80, 90 places around there. We speak around the world. Me, VJ Peter, and the Xanus Hollywood actors. Yeah. Samsara? So it's crazier than Comic-Con. Oh yeah, my world tour is much crazier than Comic-Con. And Star Wars Celebration too. Star Wars Celebration is fucking crazy. Well, my world tour even blows out of the water. Looking at venues of 20, 30, 40, 50,000 fans, man, it's crazy. And the whole city cheering me and the Xanus stars on. Me and VJ the Xanus stars on. It's crazy, man. All over Canada, America, Europe, China, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Brazil, Mexico. It's crazy. What places do you think you won't speak at? The Middle East and Africa and South America, probably I won't be speaking at those places. Because Amazon is not in those countries. Amazon is in a few countries in South America, but they're not really in South America. The main place where Amazon is Europe and Canada and the States. They're in Mexico. They're in Brazil, I believe. And the only country in Africa, I think, is South Africa. Amazon's in. The Middle East and not in the Middle East. I believe they're in India, Amazon. So I might speak at India too. Yeah, it's crazy. South Korea, North Korea. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's a world tour. All over the world, man. Yeah. Samsara? That's why Daisy really Oscar Isaac Adam Driver look like shit when they see John Maega experience that fame with me and Andy Serkis. Because they did stars with those guys, right? Yeah. Man, it looks like John Maega's having a blast, man. Fuck, he's lucky, man. We're left behind in Hollywood, yeah. They feel like shit. That's why they're really gonna beg John Maega for word. Those three guys, right? Yeah. Who will be the main event at the World Tour? Me and VJ, because me and VJ are very unique, obviously. Me and VJ are going to steal the show at the event, obviously. The Hollywood actors are going to put on the show too, but they're not me, right? They're not as an amazing of a speaker as me, and they're not as good as joking around and cracking jokes. They're not as funny as me. That's why me and VJ steal the show. And because we're the boss, there's a reason why we're getting paid the big bucks. We're going to make our 12 million in speaking. That excludes our tens of billions we're already making off the Xanus brand. We also make our like 12, 13 million on speaking. And the actors make their 1.3, 1.5 million speaking, whatever it is. And we make our like 13 million speaking. That's why Peter Jackson wants a bigger chunk of that, because he's greedy. I make even more than that. I'm like, no, Peter, stop being greedy, man. I'm not paying more than the actors. Yeah. He might be pissed off. I deserve a nice like $3 million. I'm like, no, Peter, I'm not paying more money, man. Stop being greedy. You signed your 1.3, 1.6 billion New Zealand deal. I'm not paying you more than the Hollywood actors. Stop being greedy, Peter. I mean, it's fine. That's a lot of money for me. I want to make a chunk of that. I know, Peter, but stop being greedy, man. I'm not paying you more money, Sarah. You know. Yeah. Will you go on a world tour for all your movies? Yes. It's not guaranteed I'm going to go world touring, but there's no way a story like Xanus, a $2.7 billion budget, the biggest budget we ever made, Everything Them Demons, and a masterpiece of a story like that, there's no way I'm not going to go world touring. Guaranteed I'm going to receive a lot of calls from people around the world. Yeah, we want to interview Ivan, Peter, and all the actors. Yeah. And my deal is me and VJ take 50% of the pie for every event. I want about 30. No, I'm taking half your money. I can easily be greedy and take 80%, but I'm nice enough to give you 50%. We take 50, you take the other 50. That's why Peter's like, we should be taking like 90% of the money. I'm like, Peter, stop being greedy, man. You're being greedy, Sarah, because Peter wants a bigger paycheck, right? We should be taking like 90% of the money. I'm like, no, Peter, I'm not going to take 90% of the money, you greedy pig. We deserve like 90% of the money. I'm like, Peter, stop being greedy, man, Sarah. Ivan, they're ripping you off, man. The fans paid to see us. Why are you giving them 50% of the money? You're crazy. I take like 80% of the money. I know, Peter, but they need to make some money too, the organizers. Stop being greedy, Peter, Sarah. I take 50, they take the other 50. That's fair. The reason why I'm jealous of that, because I know me and Beach are going to make, I don't know, our 50, 60, 70, 80 billion, 100 billion off movie merchant game. Doesn't hurt to give the organizers a nice 50%. I don't want to be a greedy asshole and take like all the money, right? But I'm taking half the money, man. I'm taking half your money. That's how it works. 50% of the earnings for the event. And me and VJ take the majority, and I split a good, 8, 9% of my money with the actors. Yeah. So let's say I speak at a venue of 50,000 fans. The organizers charge the fans $40. So 50,000 times 40. That's 2 million. So the organizers get their million. Me and VJ get our million. If I make $1 million, me and VJ take $600,000 of the money, and we split $400K with the 16 people with us. So 400,000 divided by 16. How much do the actors make? The actors make $25,000. See how they're getting paid? Yeah, $25K for one event. Yeah. So if you're making your $25,000, your $10,000, your $8,000, your $15,000 on average, and you speak at 80 places, that's like $1 million in speaking fees. 800 grand, $1 million, 1.2 million speaking fees. It's a huge deal. Hence why I'm gonna tell John Maega and Jimon Su, Idris Alba and Yvonne Josie and all them, and Andy Serkis, make sure you guys put your fucking checks in your Ziploc bags, man. Like, I gave you Ziploc bags for a reason. That way you don't lose your checks. Because if you don't have it in a Ziploc bag, you can lose your checks. And don't leave your checks lying around when you leave your hotel room. Because the people who clean the hotel, they can steal your checks. We live in a greedy world when it comes to money. A corrupt world when it comes to money. Put all your checks in your Ziploc bags. And it doesn't hurt when you leave your hotel to put your check in your Ziploc bag, in your briefcase. Don't leave it lying around. The attendants who clean your rooms can steal your money, man. And if your money gets stolen, I'm not recompensating you, man. That's part of the deal. Everything else you get recompensated for, but for the world tour, I'm not recompensating you for that. Yeah. It's a lot of money. If you have $1 million, $1.2 million of checks lying around, the attendants can easily steal some of your money, man. Because you're looking at fat checks the actors are getting. They're getting like their $8,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 checks, $20,000 checks. It's a lot, 80 checks. It's a lot of fucking checks. Make sure you put it all in your Ziploc bag and put it in a safe place where the attendants can't see your check. Otherwise, they can steal it. Most attendants won't steal it, obviously, but some could steal your money, right? You gotta be careful with that stuff. Yeah. I'm sorry? And the actors will listen to me. Yeah. Because they know I'm giving them good advice. Yeah, guys. Ivan told us to put our checks in our Ziploc bags and put it in a safe place when we leave the hotel room. Yeah, we don't want our checks getting stolen. Yeah, man, you don't want your big checks getting stolen, man, right? So make sure you put it in your Ziploc bag. I can provide them with 2-3 Ziploc bags. Looking at a lot of checks. Yeah. Yeah, some Sarah. Yeah. So Ivan, when we leave the hotel, yeah, when you leave your hotel room and you want to go swimming in the pool in the hotel, go have a drink at the hotel bar or something like that, or you want to go see a movie on theaters and you want to go to a clothing store and get clothes and all that stuff, go to the bar downstairs in the hotel. That's when you have to put your Ziploc bags in your briefcase. Don't leave it lying around. Yeah. When you're in the hotel with your co-stars and everything, you can leave your checks lying around and everything. But whenever you leave your hotel room and the attendants are going to go clean your room, that's when you have to put it in your briefcase. As if the attendants see all these checks, man, they can steal it, man. They can steal your check. Yeah. Because for the world tour, they're not paying the actors direct deposit. No, the actors get checks for the world tour, obviously, right? For my company, I pay you everything direct deposit. But for the world tour, you're going to be getting physical checks. And you got to put it in your Ziploc bag. That way you don't lose it. And every time you leave your hotel room, when the attendants are going to clean your hotel room, you have to put it in a safe place. Because if they see all these checks lying around, they can steal your money, man. Trust me, guys. We live in a corrupt world when it comes to money. People can steal your money. Some Sarah? And they'll listen to me, obviously. The actors will listen to me. I'll tell my secretaries to tell their agents, the actors' agents. And the actors' agents will let the actors know, obviously. Yeah, Sky Source called. They said for the world tour, Sky Source will provide you with Ziploc bags. The secretaries recommend that you put all your checks in the Ziploc bags, and whenever you leave your hotel room to go do something else, make sure you put your check in a safe place in your bag, in your briefcase. Don't leave it lying around in your room, man. When the attendants clean your room, they can steal your money. And I've heard many stories of attendants who've stolen stuff from people, right? Yeah. And don't forget, the attendants work really hard for maybe 40, 50K a year at that hotel. And the Hollywood actors got paid their millions for the movie, and they're also making their million in speaking. They can be envious. They can steal your money, man. And be careful, guys. Okay, Ivan, yeah, I'm going to tell the secretaries to tell their agents that what they know. The agents tell the actors that what they know. The Hollywood actors what they know. Sorry. Yeah. Ivan, what if 200 places around the world want to interview you? I'm gonna have to decline and say no. That's too much work, man. I can't speak at 200 places. Yeah, Peter's Ivan will make more money. I'm like, Peter, man, stop being blinded by greed. I'm not speaking at 200 places. You're crazy. Ivan will make more money. I'm like, Peter, 200 places is too much. Is too much, man. You're gonna wear us. I highly doubt 200 places. It's probably 75, 80 places I speak at. I'm not speaking at any more than 100 places, man. Anything over 100 is too much. You're gonna wear us out, man. 200 places is too much. It won't be 200. Probably 80, 90, maybe 100. Around there. 75 places I speak at around the world, right? Around there, right? Yeah. It's a crazy world tour. Yeah. Will the actors be tired? Yeah, they will be a bit tired. Once we speak at maybe 40, 50 places, the actors will start to get a bit tired. But because they're getting paid the big bucks for it, and they're living the life during the world tour, they won't mind, obviously. Yeah, I mean, even though we're a bit worn out, it's fucking fun speaking in front of all the crazy fans. Yeah, and you get paid the big bucks for it, man. A lot of money for it. The world tour is a huge deal. It's a huge fucking deal, man. Yeah, a massive contract for the actors. That's why the agents want their 10% cut of that, too, the agents. Yeah, John Boyega's agent's like, yeah, if John Boyega makes his $1.3 million in speaking, I want my $130,000 for of that, right? They're greedy, yeah, the agents. They want their 10% cut of the speaking, obviously, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the agents and managers take 10% of all the actors' earnings. The only thing they don't touch is the $2,000 gift card. I'm not going to give you guys $200. The $2,000 gift card and the $300 gas card, you don't touch that. Even the gas card, you're not touching that, guys. That's a gift from the company, but everything else, you get your 10%. The agents get 10% of all the actors' earnings for everything, obviously. So that works, right? Agents and managers, right? Yeah, who represent the actors in Hollywood. Yeah. 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 So the world tour will probably be the most fun. Yeah, the world tour will probably be the highlight of the actor's career, their journey for Xanus, right? They're all going to say, yeah, my best experience for Xanus was going on that world tour with Ivan. That was fucking fun, man. Yeah, all the parties, the crazy fans in the city, the venues, the packed venues, getting paid all that money, staying at the suites, eating at nice, like buffet restaurants, flying on Ivan's Incredibles private jet with VJ. That was my highlight of that journey, yeah. Production will be fun too, but production is work. The actors are doing dirty work, obviously. Pre-production will be fun too, but the highlight will probably be the world tour. The Xanus World Tour, obviously, for the actors. Yeah. So the world tour will take place during post-production, most likely, right? Yeah, during post-production, the world tour takes place. The 5th year. So once production's done, a good maybe 3-4 months later, that's when the actors are now going on their world tour. And post-production is going on during the world tour. And the world saw the trailers and everything, yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. How long will the world tour be? Well, if I speak at 80 places, you're looking at a good maybe 2.5 months of touring around there, right? Yeah, 2 months of touring, 2.5 months of touring, and the world tour ends. Yeah. Well, the actors are touring with me for 2.5 months, man. That's a long time. That's why they're gonna have a blast. Yeah, 2.5 months of touring. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So Peter might tell you to take more money. Yeah, he will. He's greedy, man. Yeah. We should be taking like 80% of the money. I'm like, Peter, I'm not going to take 80% of the money, man. You're being greedy, man. I'm already making more enough money on the movie merchant game. I'm not going to take 80%. The organizers will make very little money for themselves. Ivan, man, the fans are paying to see us. We're taking more of the money, Ivan. I'm like, no, Peter. I'm not going to take 80%. I'm taking 50. Yeah. Considering you and VJ are going to make, I don't know, your 50, 60, 70, 80 billion off the movie merchant game, it doesn't hurt to give the organizers a nice 50% of the cut. That way they make some good money. But I'm taking the other half. That's a deal. I'm not going to have you dupe me and profit off my success. I'm not speaking for free if you're charging the fans. And they will charge the fans, obviously. They pay for the event. They're obviously going to charge the fans for the event. And if you charge the fans, I'm taking 50% of the money. Yeah, and I take the majority of the money, but I give a good chunk of my money to the actors. That way they get paid good money too, right? Not me and VJ are taking the majority of the money, obviously. Yeah. As I'm giving a good maybe 40% of my money into the actors to make sure they get paid, right? Me and VJ are only taking maybe 60% of the money, and I give 40% of the stars, that way they get paid. But because it's divided equally over 16 people, they make way less. But me and VJ are still taking the majority of the money, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. So how will it work for the World Tour? Once the venue's over with, the organizers and all those guys are gonna bring me and VJ to the back, whatever it is, to their office, whatever it is, and they tell us how much money they made. So I spoke at a venue of 20,000 fans. They charge the fans $40. 40 times 20 grand. That's 800,000. Obviously, me and VJ, we take 500K. We split 300K with a 16. Sorry, the venue made 800 grand, so they take 400. Me and VJ take 400. If I make 400 grand, me and VJ can take a good 250K. Then we split 150K with the 16 people. Is 250K plus 150K 400K? Yeah. So 150K is split with Peter and all the actors. So 150,000 divided by 16 people, let's say. The actors made $9,000. So they're making they're making a lot of money, man. Yeah. A $9,000 paycheck for an hour and a half of speaking is a lot of money, man. Yeah, but it varies on how big the venue is, right? And how much they charge the fans too. If they charge the fans like $80, $100 for the event, then the Hollywood actors will be pulling in their 2+ million in speaking, and me and VJ will be pulling in our like 17 million and 17 million around there. It just depends how much they charge the actors. Charge the fans. I'm assuming they're charging them $40, but they might charge them more, maybe $80 for the event, right? So it just depends. The actors can even make their 2 million speaking. 2.5. If me and VJ make 17 million speaking, the actors will be pulling in 2.5, 2.8 million speaking, even more. Almost 3 million speaking. More money, yeah. It just depends. But chances are it's around that 1 million range the actors make for the World Tour. And me and VJ make like our 11, 12 million speaking. See what I'm saying, huh? Yeah. Will you donate your speaking money to charity? Fuck no, that's my money, man. I'm not donating that to charity. But because me and Pete are gonna make, I don't know, our 50, 60, 70 billion off the merch, movie, and game, I can put $1 billion towards charity for people in Africa, India, and for food, clothing, water, shelter, that kind of stuff. Food, clothing, water. We help out the kids in Africa, India, the Philippines, I'm saying, yeah. Poor people in America, yeah. obviously. I'm not donating any more than $1 billion. That's my hard-earned money. I'm not donating more than $1 billion. $1 billion is enough for charity right now. I'm helping a lot of people with that money right now. Some Sarah? You think Peter Jackson will donate to charity? Yeah, he will, but because he's a greedy pig and he's cheap, he might donate maybe $300,000 of his money. I'm like, Peter, you should be donating at least a good $1 million. He's like, Ivan, fuck that. I'm not donating $1 million. I might donate maybe $300K to charity, Ivan. Yeah, because Peter's greedy. Yeah. Yeah, Ivan, I'll donate some of my money to charity. I'm not going to donate like $1 million of my money. That's too much of my money, Ivan. He's greedy. I'll donate maybe $250K to charity. Yeah, because Peter's a greedy pig. Yeah, he's greedy. He guaranteed will donate some of his money to charity, Peter. But maybe 250, 100, 300K he donates. He's greedy, obviously, right? He's a greedy pig, Peter, yeah. Yeah. The Hollywood actors might donate money to charity too, but they might donate maybe 50 grand or something like that. 10 grand to charity because it's fair, but they're not making the kind of money me, VJ, and Peter are making. So they might donate maybe 10, 15, 20 grand to charity, but me and VJ are going to donate $1 billion of money to charity. And Peter might donate maybe 300K because he's greedy. Yeah, Ivan, I'll donate money to charity, but not like $1 million of my money, Ivan. Maybe 250K because Peter's greedy. Yeah, he's a greedy pig. Yeah. That's enough, Ivan. Yeah, he's greedy, Peter. I'm not doing shit. No, yeah, he's greedy, Peter. Yeah. Yeah. And the actors have to pay taxes on their checks too. Me and BJ have to pay our taxes too, obviously. Yeah, guys, don't forget, even if you make like your 1.5 million in speaking, you have to pay your taxes on this, right? Yeah, the actors have to pay their taxes on their speaking fee too, obviously. Me and VJ have to pay our taxes. So me and VJ make 12. After taxes, we're making like our 7.3 million after taxes. Because we have to pay our taxes on that. Peter has to pay his taxes, the actors have to pay their taxes, the agents have to pay their taxes on their 10%, yeah. Everything gets taxed in this world. That's how it works, right? You gotta pay your taxes. That's how it works, yeah. Yeah. That's why the Xanus stars are getting paid, man. They're getting paid a lot of money. They already signed a mega deal for their earnings, and you also have the mega speaking fee earnings, which can range from $1 million. The actors can even make $3 million speaking. If the venue charges the fans $80 for the event, which they might, the actors were pulling in close to $3 million speaking, and me and VJ make like our 18, 17 million in speaking. And the actors could perhaps make their $3 million speaking, yeah. Because I'm assuming they're charging the fans. I'm estimating here. I'm assuming the organizers are going to charge the fans $40. But I guarantee you, for the event, they're going to charge them maybe $80 because they want to make a nice money for themselves. And if they charge the fans $80, the actors will be making more money. They'll be pulling in their like 2.5, 3 million in speaking, man. Yeah, for speaking. That's how much actors make for their contracts for their movies, man. That's how much you make for speaking, man. So the speaking fee can range from maybe $750K to even $3 million in speaking. It just depends how much they charge the fans, right? Yeah. It's a fucking mega deal, man. It's a huge deal. Yeah. What I can do when the organizers call my office, and they want to interview me, Peter, VJ, and the Xanus stars, Hollywood stars, obviously. I can tell the venues, look, man, I recommend you charge the fans $80. That way, you guys make more money, and me and VJ and the actors make more money. Because if you charge the fans $80, then Peter and the actors will be pulling in their three plus million in speaking, and me and VJ make like our 17 million in speaking. So I'm saying, huh? That way the actors get paid more money. And I guarantee you that the venues will charge the fans more. They're going to charge them more than 40. It's a big event. You're seeing Ivan Amara speak. Seeing Ivan Amara speak for an hour and a half, it's worth the $80. Because when I speak, I put on a show, man. I put on a fucking show. And I guarantee the venues will charge the fans maybe $80 for an hour and a half of speaking, which is worth it, obviously, right? It's a good deal. I'll tell the secretaries, look, man, tell the organizers to charge the fans more than 40. Charge them 80. That way you guys make more money. And the actors make more money. The actors will not make their $3 million in speaking. 3.5 million speaking, maybe more money. More money for John Mega, Von Joji, and all them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's why they signed a mega deal. That's why the agents want a cut of that. Because they know the speaking fee deal is a huge deal. It ain't 100,000 deals, even 3.5 million deal. It just depends how much the venue charges the fans. But I guarantee the venue will charge the fans probably $80 for the event. They're not going to charge them 40. They want to make some good money for themselves. They're probably going to charge the fans $80. And the deal for the speaking fee is me and VJ take 50%. Me, VJ, Peter, and all the actors take 50% of the money. You guys get your other 50%. I'm not speaking for free if you charge the fans. You're profiting on my success. I'm taking half your money. That's how it works. Don't hate me. I'm saying, yeah. And now you guys understand why all the Zings guys are going to beg. Because my company blows out of the water. It's like Incredibles. And they made like their 800 grand, 1.3, 2 million, even 3.5 million dollars in speaking. Depends how much the venue charges the fans, right? Yeah. So before I show the camera here, let's say they charge the venue charges the fans $80, and you have a venue of 20,000 fans. So let's say 80 times 20,000. That's 1.6 million. So divided by 2. That's 800 grand. We VJ make. Yeah. So the venue takes 800K. Me and VJ take 800K. And if I make 800K, me and VJ can take 500K. We split 300K with the actors. So 300,000 divided by 16. The actors make $18,000. Yeah. A lot of fucking money. Yeah, man. Yeah. So let's say every venue on average is 20,000 fans, and the venue charges the fans $80. The actors are making 18,000 a venue. So let's assume every venue I speak at has 20,000 fans, and the actors make, let's say, 19,000. I'll round it out to 19,000. 19,000 times 80. That's $1.52 million in speaking. And that's assuming every venue has 20,000 fans. Obviously, but chances are maybe a good 50 of the venues have 20,000 fans, and the other 30 has 30, 40, 50. The actors will be making their $2.5, $3 million in speaking, man. That's why my company blow out the water. And that's why those answers are lucky, and that's why they're going to beg their asses off after the project is over, right? Yeah. Anyways, here's what guys, I talk for an hour and 52 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll call this video more writing advice for fantasy aspiring authors and the amazing Xanus World Tour. This is Adamir. I'm signing off. Peace, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Peace out, guys.